Hey y'all, it's Coach B.
And I'm Nisha T.
And we are
Girlfriends in Real Estate.
Welcome to episode 5, y'all. We have a very special guest in studio.
Yes, we do.
And he goes by the extraordinary name of Peter
Carr.
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
Ooh,
We are
we're
doing
good.
awesome. And so very
Excited.
happy to have you in here with us.
Exactly.
Likewise.
You are one sharp guy.
Yes,
Thank you.
are.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so a little bit about Peter. He helps to develop real estate professionals and has really not been slack on any of his promises. He has executed. He has come through in the cut. And we had to have him on the show because he's also responsible for even a lot of our development in this industry. And we've seen some dramatic changes in our lives. Okay.
Yes.
So we wanted to share him with you guys.
Yay. So y'all guys are in for a good treat. So one thing that we do on our shows is we do either like a music, trivia, movie, sports. We asked you what your favorite was, and you let us know that you love movies.
Yeah, I'm definitely a movie guy.
So yes.
What got you into liking movies?
Just like my friends, that was kind of our common interest. We were all movie buffs. We would go to movies every weekend. We would shoot videos and make videos. Music videos, all types of like videos and stuff like that.
Music videos.
I caught that.
I was not rapping. No.
PC.
I thought I was
behind the camera, doing sound, helping my boy do edits and stuff like that. And so I've always just kind of been a more movie person myself.
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he's saying all types of movies. Like, I'm glad he said music because he filtered me.
Okay.
Because y'all know how Coach B get down sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But we going to keep it PG. All right. And professional.
Okay. So today we are going to test you on some of your knowledge.
Okay.
Of your movies.
What you
and
got?
So and you already know that's how we starting now. We starting now with a movie.
Look, okay. You already ready.
And then it'll feed into our first question.
All right.
So this is Baba.
Yes, my son.
Tell me a story.
Which one?
The story of home. What movie is that?
You kidding, right?
No.
Black Panther.
Oh yeah, okay.
We was kidding.
That's the first scene.
Because he knew.
I mean, we had to make sure.
He knows the order of the movie.
He did, because he said that is the beginning.
That's the first scene, yeah.
Oh,
he said, are you kidding? Oh, this easy. Okay, well, you get 20 points for that question.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
You had no help, so you had the full 20 points.
That's
good.
Points. All right.
So it says, tell me a story of home. Tell us the story of how you got to where you are.
Oh, good question. How I became a real estate consultant, working in the business. So prior to this, I worked for the federal government. I worked for the U.S. Department of State. It was a pretty sexy job, but it was not a lot of money involved, right?
Okay.
I was doing things like writing speeches for the United Nations and traveling and working on human rights issues and Arab Spring and all this stuff. Getting paid like $50,000, $40,000 a year. It's like, that's not money.
Okay.
So what really inspired me to get into not only the real estate business, but into sales was when my wife told me she was pregnant. I was like, I can't raise a family on this.
That'll do it.
I cannot raise a family on this. And so I really kicked it into gear because it wasn't about me at that point, right? Like I was like, all right, whatever I'm doing, that's not working. That's not gonna get me to where I need to be financially. And so I was like, if I'm gonna sell something, it needs to be something that I care about.
Right.
And at that time, this was in 2012.
Okay.
At that time, I was obsessed with using the Zillow app, right? Like Zillow had just kind of developed the mobile app. It was premiered on with the iPhone. Steve Jobs, like that's the app that he showcased during that. And I was like, man, like I'm sure they need to sell the average, like the space on their website, and I know it works because I'm obsessed with it. Like I'm sure anybody else uses it. So I just called up there and I was like, "Hey, y'all have a sales department?" And they were like, "Yeah, go online and apply." I was like, "Cool."
That just shows you how.
I was like, "Cool, yeah, I'll apply. Just make sure you set that initial interview for me."
Okay.
I'm flying from DC to Irvine, California.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
And,
okay.
And from there it was off to the races. Like I didn't know anything about sales. I didn't know anything about real estate. I didn't know anything really about online advertising either.
Right.
And what I would say is that like I got even though I went to Howard University, I went to a school of business, I got an education there, but I would say at Zillow is where I got education. Like a real education.
An experience-cation.
Yeah.
Right. On all things sales. Because, I don't know if y'all know, but, first thing you get there in the morning at 7 a.m. in the morning, you do an hour of training, whether it be on sales, online marketing, or something real estate related. And then you had to make 80 phone calls a day. You had to go on 10 presentations every single day.
Yeah.
And I did that for about 5 years.
Okay.
Actually, exactly 5 years.
You said 80 calls a day.
Yeah.
And 10 presentations.
80 phone calls a day, 10 presentations a day.
Man, that's ambition.
And so you figure each presentation is 10 minutes to 30 minutes. Times that by 10. Times that by 5. Times that by 4. Times that by 12. Right. Times that by 5 again. Right. That's how many hours and hours and hours I had on pitching.
Did y'all calculate that? Because I don't know.
Whatever, it's a lot.
I lost once he said times the third, fourth time.
I mean, you figure. I would spend about 300 minutes a day presenting.
How much is that in money?
So, in money, so I think I used to earn the company about $10 a minute. I was on the phone. And I would earn probably I probably earn a tenth of that, right? So $1 a minute.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
I eventually became a keynote speaker within Zillow. Like I would speak at all their major events, so in front of 5,000 of the employees or in front of the entire office. I would host sales trainings myself. I became really good at helping agents who were using Zillow actually make money off of it. So you've heard the stories as real estate professionals. Like the big question I always get is, does Zillow work or does it not work?
Right.
And that really just depends. And so it's a lot of times it would have to depend on you, the agent. Then too, do you have a business partner there that is not just selling you impressions or selling you more leads or just selling you zip codes just because?
Yeah.
Or is it like a true business relationship? For example,
let us hold on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to tap in on this.
Yeah.
If y'all want to know more about that, y'all can reach out to your boy Peter, because he gonna give y'all the game up in here, man. I'm telling you, I told you it was juicy. But no, so here's what I wanted to actually say about that. You said that the way you got into it overall is because you were obsessed with their apps. We try to tell people all the time that those impressions, that online presence, all of those things, they make a difference. You have somebody who literally started the beginning of a very, very lucrative career, all because you were obsessed with the app.
Yeah, I was obsessed with the app, so I knew that there was potential in this, right?
Yeah.
And this is on the eve of Facebook exploding, right, and them going public. And I was like, if Facebook can grow because people were obsessed with using. I remember how obsessed I was using Facebook my freshman year of college, and how that thing exploded. So I was like, if I'm obsessed with using it, I can't stop using it. I'm addicted to it, similar to more addicted to it, more engagement to it than other things, right? If you want to get racy, if you look at the engagement levels on Zillow, they're actually higher than some smut websites, right? So you got more engagement than Pornhub on Zillow. Literally.
That's crazy.
People spend more minutes and more hours engaged looking at those homes. And people think, I always hear realtors say it's because we gave them the MLS access, or we gave them, we traded our IP and those are our listings. What you don't understand is there's 100 or 200 full-time UX designers from the best colleges in the world making that app designed in a way so you're subconsciously addicted to that website.
Wow. Okay. So that's crazy. I hope you guys are paying attention because he's dropping some really hot nuggets and some really hot pointers in that. Even kind of like a little bit of the background. And that's really crazy, you know, to kind of hear him speak about that. And home buying for all of our home buyers out there. Being sexy, you know what I'm saying? Yum, yum, yum. Okay, so let's move into our next question.
Sure.
How has that journey, because you said it was like, that's when you really got an education. How has that journey truly shaped you?
That's a good question. So I think that I was raised by like educators and you know, my family was, they all take a safer route. They're all successful, but they all take kind of a safer route into doing things. And so I think that, you know, going into sales, you know, had a sort of connotation behind it. And I wanted to prove that this is a viable career pathway. And so that drove me even more to say, because I had a goal. I was like, I'm going to make as much as my parents make combined in sales, just to show them that, like, no, like, I made the right decision here.
Right.
Like, I know you like loved bragging about me working for Hillary Clinton or for the State Department, but like, I'm raising my whole family off of this, this whole thing. And so, so that's how it shaped me. Also, you know, I had really good mentors there that taught me consultative based selling, question based selling, needs based selling. That's awesome. So you don't come off like that car salesman or pushy salesman. Like I really saw that sales isn't about persuading or tricking people into doing things, but rather you get paid more by solving problems. And the biggest problem you can solve, the more you get paid, right? Like, so if somebody wants to become a millionaire from what you're selling, I mean, you're gonna get paid off of that, right? Off of solving that problem for them, right?
So you mean to tell me that you weren't a car salesman? Get it? Okay. Y'all the only ones that got it.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Yes.
Thanks, my lady. Okay. Oh, man. Well, we'll move into the next question here.
So we have another trivia. And this one is it's simple. It's a one-liner. And it simply says, you tell me who said it. You make your mistakes to learn how to get to the good stuff.
The good stuff.
You make your mistakes to learn how to get to the good stuff.
Mistakes to learn how to get to the good stuff. I would say that's either from the movie Rudy or from The Black Godfather. It's from The Black Godfather. No? No.
So you did put another movie, let us know one of your favorites, and it was Quincy. That was one of his quotes.
Is that one of his quotes?
That's one of his quotes, and I love that quote.
Yeah, that's a good one.
With that being said, tell us a time where you did not know what you were doing. You made that one mistake, that when you made that mistake, it additionally shaped you, and it let you know, I will never make that mistake again.
When I made I made a mistake, and I was like, that's...
Like, you learned from
that.
Like,
name a time you didn't know what you was doing. You was like...
When you got into
this... is horrible.
When you got into
never do this again.
Big mistake. So, I've never made a big mistake.
Okay.
But what I would say is that the little mistakes hurt me way more.
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
Right? So, like, a little mistake could be something that hurts you is being late. Right? Like, I remember if you're like, so when I was telling our producer here earlier, like, hey, like at Howard, if you were late to School of Business, your grade gonna go down, right? Yeah. In real life, if you're late to an appointment, your chance of converting is gonna go down. Right. That's the first impression they get from you. And so, I remember trying to get my son to daycare, and then making it we had 7 o'clock start time. I would make it at 7 o'clock, and my supervisor was like, "Hey man, like, why are you showing up exactly on time? You're giving yourself no wiggle room." And I had to like negotiate with my wife, like, "Hey, like, it's literally my career and on the line for being just on time, and so I'll do the pickups right instead of the drop offs because at this much time I don't have that room for error, right?" Right. So I've also made a mistake where it's like I forgot to follow up. Right, on an email or that's a little mistake, but it compounds. It costs you a lot of money. Yeah. So and the little mistakes are harder to make that shift from, right? If you make a huge mistake, it's like, oh man, I can never make that mistake again. Yeah. The likelihood of that thing happening again is very low. So I would say it's more important to mitigate those little things. Yeah. From being part of your reputation.
Look at that. He just taught me something new about being late. I'm always fashionably behind. Oh, yeah. And also, though, so I want to touch on something real quick because I always tell the agents out there whom I coach and I mentor, you guys know who you are, and I say this all the time. Every mistake costs you money, especially in this real estate industry. So oftentimes when, it could be the smallest thing. I'll give you an example. There was a company that I used to work with and for, before I became a realtor. And we were going over and kind of looking over the books, buyers and sellers books and stuff like that. And we laid 3 pairs of eyes on these books, including the designer's eyes. Yeah. And I think by the end of the week, we were all just so tired. Our eyes were tired. We had looked at so many words. It was several pages in this book. And by the end, we were like, okay, that looks perfect. Looks perfect. Looks perfect. Looks perfect. Yeah. We're all talking about it looks perfect. The designer's not trying to give us any leeway. They're like, can we print these books now? Because y'all done sent us back 100 changes. Well, anyhow, the books finally arrived. Thousands of them. Okay. As soon as we opened the page, the very first couple of lines are off. Out of everything we looked at. Yeah. We were like, how did that happen? And it wasn't misspelled or anything. It wasn't out of whack. It was just kind of off. Because we had some areas that were justified. And then some areas that were supposed to be centered, but some kind of way the paragraph kind of, got that. And then there were a few syntax errors where, you get like symbols and stuff. And that was many years ago. And it cost a lot of money because we paid a lot of money for those books. So what do you do now? Yeah. You can't send them back to be repressed. And that is the moment, guys, when I felt like forever in a lifetime, I will double, triple, quadruple check something right on site, check the editing, the print. I will always be detail oriented. And I have been that way even on my deals ever since then. Right. Like,
that's a good one. Yeah. That's a good one. I worked for an ambassador. And thankfully, she looked like us, right? So she gave me some grace. I sent out one email and it had a spelling error in it. She's like, "You always talking about you going to Howard and how you just fancy speechwriter." And because she was a Hampton grad, she was shooting slow. She was trying to shoot it. And she was like, "Always talking about going to go to Howard." Da, 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 da. And you got the spelling error on this a very simple email. You talking about you're my assistant. And so ever since then, I was like, I can't. What I do is, and this is a good one, on, especially for if you make a lot of spelling and all those mistakes, beyond having Grammarly though, on Microsoft Word and on Outlook, you can hit the review button and do the read aloud.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And if it...
something's going on.
That's my phone. Because it's 1 o'clock.
Look at him. Look at him. Functional.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's my 1 o'clock.
Uh-oh.
So, and it reads it out loud. And sometimes if you're reading the thing, you will correct yourself and forget to correct the statements there.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
I do that on every single email before I write it.
Gotcha.
Just so I can just like hear somebody else read what I just wrote. And also to make sure it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, when someone's reading it out loud.
Right.
So
Quick tip.
Obviously, you know, with business, okay, there comes a lot of obligations and responsibilities. Do you have to fly to the studio?
No.
Are you sure?
I got a couple minutes.
Okay.
I got a couple more minutes. You better give me some good questions.
All right. See, look, business calls, y'all. He don't play no games, and he's responding on time to his appointment. That's just, I love that. You know, these moments for us, you guys can look at it however you want to look at it. They ain't bloopers, okay?
Right.
This is real life. This is
happens.
Reality.
Yeah.
Is that when the money calls, you got to answer it. As a real estate professional, you have to be Johnny on the spot. You've got to move when people call you.
Yeah.
I mean, I could get a call probably right now this second that says, hey, we want to see a house and so-and-so.
Yeah,
and
wow.
y'all,
Yeah.
let me tell y'all something. You think
She ain't.
that I ain't going to answer this
Let's
phone?
do it. Let's fire off some questions.
Yeah, let's fire it off. Let's
keep it
go.
short.
Okay. Look at him trying to tell us to keep it short.
Come on now.
Okay,
Well,
come
Be
on.
bright, be brief, be gone.
Well, let's do it. You gonna do the next? You want to do the next
Yeah,
trivia
let's
real
do it.
quick?
Okay. See, men always trying to control the
Controlling,
girlfriends.
so controlling, so controlling.
All right, so let's
So
go.
we can shorten that one.
Okay, so how long have you been doing this? What you do, helping real estate professionals?
Helping real estate professionals, motivating and educating real estate professionals, I would say 7 years.
Okay,
That's good.
About 7 years working, helping them grow.
Gotcha. 7
Yeah.
is the number of completion. So do you have any other big kettles in the pot that you think you're going to be doing here soon?
I mean, you know, I do try to diversify, but I also I like to stay in my lane at the same time, right? So, like, you know, I want to keep it real estate related. So that's why I work at Capital Title, helping do business development. I recently got my mortgage license,
Awesome.
which has really been an education.
He tried to
all
slide
of
by
so-
that. He recently got his mortgage license.
He
Yeah,
did.
I got my
Clap,
mortgage
clap, clap.
license, working in 13 different states.
That's
got
awesome.
got that going. But that all coincides and it works together, right? Because if I'm working with because I help real estate professionals, not just real estate agents, but broker owners of real estate brokerages, broker owners of mortgage companies, and working deeply in the title community, right? And my newest client does a lot of wholesaling, right?
Okay.
And he's got his whole wholesaling company. But, you know, if you have a sales organization and you need them to sell more or develop a team strategy or to do that, like, you have to remember, I started at Zillow when they were small, right? And now it's one of the, you know, it's a world-class sales organization, like them or not, right?
Yeah.
Like, I helped build them up that way, and I've learned a lot about how to do that. I've also worked at top consulting companies and helped other Fortune 500 companies grow their sales organization. So
Yeah, you got a lot under your belt.
when it comes to developing revenue or generating revenue and profitability and efficiency, like those are probably the three things that I'm really good at. Right, that's why Capital Tower brought me on, because they say, hey, you keep going out there helping real estate agents and send business our way, or you know.
That was just a humble brag. He should say, "I'm your guy."
Yeah, I know how to do it.
So
I really
let's-
do. I really do know how to. If you're like, hey Peter, I want to make $1 million in 1 year, I can literally give you the steps to get there. Right.
Yeah.
I've done it
Right.
before.
Yeah.
So.
We on our way.
Okay.
So let's move into our next question.
Okay.
Trivia.
What you got?
To this one. To the last one.
Well, you've done a hell of a good job, kid. Chasing down your dreams.
Who cares what kind of job I did if it doesn't produce results? It doesn't mean anything.
I think you'll discover that it will.
Maybe I haven't prayed enough.
Is that Rudy?
That's Rudy.
Okay,
That's
so you
Rudy.
do
So he
know
got
your
another
movies.
20 points. Ding, 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 ding.
Yes, you do.
I like that scene where he's like, with the kid, Rudy's all complaining, and the brother's like, let me tell you something, man. You're 5 foot nothing. You got no athletic ability whatsoever, and you're playing one of the top universities in the world.
Yes.
Like, what are you complaining about?
Right. Oh, when they were in the tunnel.
Yeah, when they're in the tunnel. Yeah. Is that Rock?
Yes, that is who played that part.
Yeah,
Rock,
yeah. He has
yes.
an interesting background story too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think he was in jail or
Oh, that
he did time, and then but he like got his education. I think at Harvard,
Well,
something crazy like that.
Okay, no. I didn't know
Anyway.
about that part.
Yeah, that guy's
So-
legit.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's an awesome actor. I
Yeah.
love even this just that small role he played.
Yeah, me too.
So with that, what would you tell your younger self?
Mm.
What advice would you give them about getting into this industry?
About getting into this industry?
Yeah.
Get into it earlier.
Okay.
We'd like to thank Peter for coming in and doing episode 5 with us, guys. He was such a great guest. But now, as you all know, diamonds are a girl's best friend. So we'd like to share our girlfriend gems with you. One being, for all of you who feel like you're experiencing a slow season at this time, or that you're just trying to kind of get your footing and find out a sure-proof way to keep your business coming in, I would admonish you to really do your research, to be looking up trends and new ideas, maybe consult with a coach or a mentor, someone that can really help you to get to the next level in your career. These slow times are the moments that you spend developing your systems and developing your plan of action for the month or the year to come.
Amen. And my gem is for those home buyers out there. We didn't get to do our market report. So I just wanted to give you a bit of information about taxes. Some of us have already received our property taxes in the mail. Some of them you have said, this is too high. I know this is not my property tax range, and you feel like you have to stick with that. You do not have to stick with that price. I challenge you, I encourage you to go and contest it.
Yes.
I have contested mine before and came out with true colors. One thing you can look out for is to make sure you have stated that is your homestead, meaning that you are living there. And also you can also have them go and get 3 comps so they can compare your home to 3 like properties like yours so that they can bring their property tax down. So that's my gem for today.
And thank you for tuning in, as we are G.I.R.E, Girlfriends in Real Estate.